certainly a safe pick. We'll see if that's where they decide to deviate to SoaR Gaming, that is.
I'm always surprised that Eager elects to take away the Circuit, considering DJ Pernicus loves this guy. So this leads me to believe they're always setting themselves up for a potential sustained composition.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not necessarily that they're going to go for it, but it's that page is open for them.
It's also the fact that Circuit is just infuriating to play against, especially with Flickering Ritual being as obtainable as it is. Having a no cooldown combat blink on a character like Circuit is out of the question if you really want to control a situation. The ISIS ban is rather interesting. That's a homework ban right there. You kind of know what Anister's god pool is. He's newer to the situation, and also you want to make sure that you're able to maintain control of the objectives.
Not necessarily the safest god in the world is ISIS, but definitely a good mechanical god, and Anister is known for his mechanical abilities. Either way, Eager electing to first pick the Ratatasker here. I like what SoaR had in mind here to take away the Zeus and the Sylvanas. It's not necessarily required to have both in a team composition. We saw what Best was able to do with just Zeus, even without Sylvanas.
Team Eager right here, kind of playing chicken. All right, new guy, welcome to mid lane. We'll leave you, Thoth. Can you do it? Thoth is going to be selected by SoaR Gaming. We'll see if he can be played. Thoth is, I feel like, one of the best mages in the game, but one of the hardest mages to play. Just the interaction with the window and everything is what I've heard. The feeling is that he's difficult to play. So Eager, kind of daring SoaR to go ahead and pick up Thoth for their new mid laner. It'll be the choice. Rat, Arlong Shen, Poseidon for Team Eager, Geb, Thoth, and Thanatos one more time. I don't think Benji did too well on it, but might have just been one game.
He didn't have the snowball. Normally, assassins will tend to try to look for the early picks and then look for, more rotations, especially having a god such as Thanatos with the global pressure. Ganking the mid lane can surprise Eager potentially. We even saw it earlier on today when I think it was Walrus playing the Ratatasker in the solo lane. He was making the plays on that global god. So we could still see Benji making those plays. He needs to be set up for them.
Much happier about the Medusa pick here for Vedium. I think Vedium is a very strong hunter, and we did not get to see that whatsoever last game. The Jingwei was just lost from before minute 1, got completely controlled. Medusa, on the other hand, this is one of those gods that Vedium wants to play but is never viable in the meta. He's very good at this god. It's finally his shot.
Xing Chen and Apollo for Eager to wrap things up. Still more than likely going to be Arlong Shen for Aurora. Xing Chen going to be locked in for Divios. Ratatasker for DJ Pernicus here. So yet again, another Guardian to deal with the potential Thanatos pick in the solo lane for Benji. Hercules getting locked in as well. So that warrior is definitely going into the solo lane. Thanatos is going to be played for Homie FA.
Without a doubt, Benji is going to be on this Hercules. It's one of his better gods again. So finally, Medusa and Hercules for the new guys on SoaR. They get their gods this time. This one's going to be a lot more exciting. Let's get into the game right away. Team Eager versus SoaR Gaming. Game number 2. I'm expecting more out of SoaR this time around.
Absolutely, and I like the pick that Eager had in terms of getting this Poseidon for the best. The cripple is going to make it more difficult for Anister to use that dash offensively to find the stun. Also, on top of this, they could easily find a lot of picks onto Jigs with that Whirlpool Kraken combination, especially with Aurora constantly rotating around on this Arlong Shen. Just taunt, root, knock up, and then Whirlpool Kraken.
The classics for Team Eager. Zapman on his Apollo. This has been one of Zap's original characters since you were playing with him. Divios on the Xing Chen. Divios was one of the first guys to really bring Xing Chen not just into the solo lane, but into competitive Smite at all. Aurora, this is the new classic for Aurora. I think you got to think about Fenrir support when you think about classic Aurora. But the new age Aurora is this Arlong Shen support. The best on this Poseidon. Everybody on Team Eager are on their sort of like old school classic.
And I don't necessarily think that it's necessarily an Aurora thing to do this Arlong Shen. It's just more of an Eager thing to do this Arlong Shen for support, with a combination, obviously, that it is Aurora.
Exactly. And even across the way at SoaR, Benji, Vedium, Homie FA, all on some of their classic characters here. This is going to be a really good match, Totally.
We see Eager, Zapman starting up the purple, grabbing the 2 little minions and grabbing the wave, recognizing the fact that SoaR was going to invade the red and the purple, because the fact that Aurora is rotating on the right-hand side. Eager stripped away both the speed and the blue away from SoaR. Only losing red currently is Zapman.
And that right there is no problem because Team Eager devised this composition very intelligently. Basically, what you're looking at is Zapman on the Apollo has fantastic clear and can hold his own underneath the tower. So you're going to be able to do that. Ching Chen on the other side, on the solo lane, specifically against the Hercules, not so much.
And on top of this, Zapman's getting solo experience farm. So he's going to be able to hit level 5 before Vedium, as long as he does get some buffs. You can't lose your buffs and not get anything in return. If Zapman can get himself the Oracles and maybe left side mid Harpies, he'll catch up in the experience that Vedium is able to take away from the red and the purple buff.
But that's the reason why you see so many different starts here, folks, which is so exciting because I don't think that there will be a cookie cutter start. What it comes down to is how does it complement your composition?
Yes.
Team Eager has the power on the left side, so you put the support on the right because they have a low clear Guardian over there.
The problem is, though, if you're leaving Zap alone for too long, SoaR's is going to rotate, grab the Oracles on every single rotation, and if you don't have vision around the Gold Fury side, it could be SoaR that are going to be the ones to get the early Gold Fury. Normally, you're used to seeing Eager be the ones to do so, but if all their attention's on that solo lane to strip away the speed and the blue, that's a timing window for SoaR to take advantage of.
I mean, SoaR definitely had the composition to go for an early Gold Fury, right? With a big burst damage mage like Thoth. Certainly a choice to think about, but you also have Best across the way with the Poseidon ultimate, so I don't know. It's possible.
Something we didn't talk about was the fact that Xing Chen's second ability, his knock up into the root, actually has a larger AoE circle now, making it a lot easier to connect onto multiple targets, having even more control in a team fight than already. And on top of this, having a Guardian in the soul lane against a Warrior, it's going to force Benji into magical defense. It's going to allow DJ Parnicus to make those rotations, be more effective with his combinations.
We'll see. We'll keep an eye on Benji's build on this Hercules. One of the few North American players, I think, that'll bring out the Hercules this season. If Andy was still in the jungle, I would definitely expect the Hercules jungle coming out from Andister. But now since it's Homie Efe, I don't know so much about that. Europe, on the other hand, every solo laner has a Hercules.
They definitely do. They don't hesitate to be able to pull out that god with the boulder, the pull push combination. There's a lot of control. You just have to be very confident in landing that ability.
Yep. And the heal is changed now, very strong ability. So Hercules definitely a nice go-to character to have. The Europeans definitely respect him here. It's Benji. I think we'll see Divios play him at some point this season. I know Divios loves Hercules. And like I said, if Andy ever winds up playing in the jungle throughout the course of the season, we might see the Herc.
Left-hand side, Vedium doing a good job bullying Zapman currently. He's level 6 versus Zap's 5, using the So Beautiful, going into the sky because DJ Parnicus is in the sky as well, waiting for the first dash, gonna bait out the ultimate. The beads are used. Finally, Zapman just needs to connect one more in hand. First blood for DJ.
Just a fantastic performance there coming out from the jungle and the Hunter. Everything was the way it was supposed to be, honestly. I really couldn't find an issue with that gank. First blood going to Team Eager.
Just perfectly executed too.
Yeah.
DJ waited for the dash at the very last second. Having to take so much damage from Zapman is not something that Vedium wanted to do originally, so he was forced to use that dash. Now, I like the fact that he used his ultimate too to prevent the knock-up instead of the purification, thinking that if I do survive, at least I'll still have my bees for later on.
Aurora trying to defend the jungle camp against Homie Efe, who has to take to the sky. Divios and Aurora try to do a lot of damage to the Thanatos. It's just not enough. He's able to go ahead and clean up back at home. And those gremlins, or the fire giant minions, will go the way of Team Eager.
This time around, compared to the last time when Eagers took away the speed and the blue from SoaR, and SoaR took away the red and the purple from Eager, there's going to be no invades. It's just going to be a passive game for now after that first blood onto Vedium. They did force out the ultimate from Homie Efe, but that's just not enough, really, based on where they were on the map, to really overextend to that speed and blue, because you always have to worry about Annister's damage on this top.
Almost 1,000 gold in the lead for Team Eager. Worth noting because we're so early here in the game. You can see 1,100 gold specifically, and 500 of that sure belongs to the first blood. but the rest of that is just superior farming in the jungle. And you're going to see this a lot more than I think we have in the past, is teams able to get small leads early on because they're just better at the map.
It's also really scary for that first blood to be on DJ Pernicus, because we've known him to be behind most of the time than his opposition, but whenever he gets a lead, he's just going to keep on pressing forward, and that's going to make things a lot more smoother for Eager to find the clean kills and get out.
Well, DJ also knows his role, which is he's not always the one that needs to get the kills, and he's okay with that. When you're looking at players like DJ and Weekend remind me of each other, even though neither of them want to hear that. When it comes down to it, the decision making and just the selflessness, the ability to play for the team is very similar. Is a very similar mindset between those two.
It's also a very unique mindset to have coming out of the jungle. Most junglers are very selfish, but look at this. DJ Pernicus is going to be ganking into that SoaR, knocking up Benji. Boulder coming up in a very nice location, but it's just not enough damage to find a return kill. Devios credited with that kill onto Benji.
Again, just that is the exact gank that you want to happen. The Guardian is just up too far If that even happens in the lane, driving strike might even save him. Thoth is in trouble. Big taunt coming out of Aurora. Here comes the follow from Divios. Beautiful silence from Homie Efe. That might save him, but Zapman from the left takes care of Andy. Homie Efe trying to find a target, lands right down into the Kraken. The best obliterates him. Oh, Homie Efe.
Shakes is in trouble now as well. The rotation from Betty and the nice push from Benji, finding two under the tower. They find a return kill onto Aurora, but it was a 3-for-1. Great way to start things off for Eager. They found Annenster during his dash right around the corner. Aurora doesn't hesitate just to ulti you around the corner.
Oh yeah, I mean, Aurora was waiting behind the corner, able to go ahead and capitalize off of the fact that Andy was a little bit out of position. Bam, he takes care of that. Welcome to mid lane, Annenster. Benji, on the other hand, just by himself stops a deicide. That is Team Eager's team fight. Team Eager is going to kill 5 people, pick up a fire giant, and continue on like we saw last game. But Benji comes out of nowhere and hits the excellent driving strike, controlling 3 separate players under the tower, 2 separate players under the tower. Still, just great stuff out of Benji. This is the player that I really enjoyed watching. And I don't know where he went last season, totally, but this is the guy that I liked watching on Enemy, back when he was called Salt Machine. And I don't know what happened last year, but this is the player. He's already back.
Sometimes players get more motivated as they keep winning, whereas others will get motivated as they keep losing. Flashpoint didn't make they didn't make it past Super Regionals into Worlds, and Benji was a part of that squad. Yeah. And he's definitely a Worlds caliber player, obviously, with Enemy during Season 2. He made a huge turnaround from Super Regionals in Season 2 to Worlds, where nobody was expecting him to do anything during those 2 events at Season 2, but then he turned things around, he proved everybody wrong, and now, yet again, he's still doing wonders, playing this Hercules. Now, he is 2 levels behind off of the back of that last gank from DJ Pernicus, but he's also constantly looking for the plays, and he's always in position to make them.
That's really the key there. He's obviously not winning his lane right now. He's not doing big picture, not number 1 in this game specifically. But for me, you got to look at the positioning. You got to look at the situational stuff. And in that team fight, he was exactly where he needed to be. He could have made that rotation from the right side. That gets him caught up in all the nonsense that Homie Efe got caught up in. Understands that he has to loop around. Just nice map vision, nice court vision coming out from Benji right there. Eager, despite SoaR's best attempts, are still in the lead. They're up 4 kills, 5-1 specifically, and 2,800 gold is where Eager is currently leading at the moment. SoaR may want to take this one home because Eager were able to win the last game in pretty dominating fashion once the game got underway.
A 3,000 goal lead pre-10 minute mark without a Gold Fury for Eager is pretty impressive, I would say. So once these teamfights start happening around, once Devios is going to hit level 12 before Benji, that could be a timing window where the Soul Laner is going to rotate to the left-hand side off of the pressure here from DJ Pernicus, always into the sky, looking for even more rotations. Look at the jungle control here from DJ Pernicus Best and Aurora, constantly shifting around, going for this portal demon while Zap baiting SoaR going to the gold.
Yeah, I like that play. It's just It's the bamboozle play.
What
like
a calculated play out of Eager. Zapman baiting SoaR into the left, grabbing the Portal Demon on the right. Very slow and calculated play.
And Divios shows up as soon as the portal is spawned. Team Eager are really meticulous. That's the word I'm gonna use to describe this squad. They're extremely meticulous. They come down to the second when it comes to timing. Redatasker's in the sky. He's gonna land down in the mid lane. Beats down the knockup is gonna be Thoth. Finds an ultimate out of Jigs. It's gonna be trouble for Aurora, who's half HP. There's the washing machine. Toshes 2 players back right in the clutches of DJ, but Benji's the first one to get onto the board in this team fight. Tosses out the ultimate as well. Can't find the second one, but Divios finds the kill onto support. There's support from the mid lane. Zapman picks up 1. Zapman picks up 2. And Zapman not willing to go for the third underneath the tower. Andy will just safely walk back there again. Benji with a fantastic play, just not enough for his team to answer.
Not enough. A 3-for-1 as Aurora does respawn, and Divios has the teleport. Goldfury going to get started by Eager around the 11.5 minute mark. It's only Vedim around the corner, but he doesn't have his ultimate. And with the zoning from Divios, it's a free Goldfury for Eager.
Objective, 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 objective. Team Eager never fights on the road. They're always fighting on the flag. They just understand that it's about the stuff after the stuff. SoaR get it too. It's not the fact that SoaR missed playing. Eager is just there first.
And it's going to be Anister forced to go north, closer to Zapman, but it was closer to Jigs as well, so he can rely on that shield to bail him out of trouble. He couldn't dash backwards because we saw the best drop that whirlpool behind him. Had Anister dashed backwards, it would have stopped him mid in his tracks, and he would have been stuck in a very awkward position as the rest of Eager would have easily capitalized. 6,000 gold in the lead is Eager after that gold.
Thoth has been a non-factor. Why?
The cripple.
He's just getting crippled?
The cripple was it's like a great tactic. As soon as Toph was picked in the picks and bans, immediately Poseidon without any hesitation from Eager. And on top of this, it's also the rotations from Aurora. Catching Anister off guard in the early game forced him into using the beads very early from when he didn't want to, picking him off as well under that tier 1 tower. And with the 1 death, he just hasn't been able to keep up the pace with the best. Still sitting at 11, whereas the best is 12.
It's actually interesting. You know, I think the Poseidon pick is actually better against the Thanatos than the Thoth, pretty much for exactly what we saw out of Homie FA early on, in the fact that, yeah, the cripple is going to stop Thoth in his tracks, but Homie FA can't ult Poseidon because the Kraken comes right underneath the feet. We saw that not 1 team fight ago, but 2 team fights ago, right up there by the SoaR orange buff. That's where we saw Homie FA comes down and lands into a Kraken. That's going to happen every single time you try to ult the best. So the Poseidon pick into this composition, I absolutely love it. I think it is the correct choice.
As long as Homie FA can find that execute target, then that would be a good timing for him. But it's going to be Jigs getting caught in an awkward position under the whirlpool. First to use the Cataclysm, and now Homie FA finds the execute onto the best.
Dies with the ultimate, so maybe not every single time. Homie FA finding the follow-up kill. It will be delayed thanks to a good meditation. TJ's gonna get the knock-up. Zapman responding from the left side. Andy's in trouble. Barely surviving. Has a Gem shield, but he'll fall down to the hand of Zapman. Here's the ultimate out of Divios. One more time. Divios picks it up. 4-0-4 for the solo laner. Zapman gets his 5th. It's 5-0-5 for the Hunter player. Divios still looking. Pancake flip is strong. Divios picks up his 5th kill of the game. Fantastic stuff out of the Young Guns. And Vedim trying to deal with DJ Pernicus, but Eager will shade to the right side of the map after clearing everybody out of the mid lane.
Eager is just so clean. They got surprised, obviously, by Homie FA executing the best. Even without the Kraken, they won that team fight 4-for-1. All the offensive abilities were used to find that pick, so it was very easy to take out Homie FA after that team fight continued with Eager rotating. We saw DJ Pernicus come from the sky. Zapman came from the sky, collapsing onto the battleground, making it that much easier to clean up and avenge for their fallen comrade.
I'm just not seeing an impact out of some of these players. How is Eager able to corral players like Andy and Vedim or characters like Thoth and Medusa?
The fact that Anister also used his dash aggressively to continue the team fight after picking off the best made it easier for DJ once he landed in to continue picking people off. SoaR doesn't have to keep overextending after the one initial pick. When you're behind this much gold, you have to reset after a certain fight, depending on how many cooldowns you use for that one pick.
So right now, not proving enough. SoaR coming up a little short, to say the least. 12-3. That is a large margin here. At 15 minutes, the 8,300 gold lead. Keep in mind, this was a 3,000 gold lead at about 8 minutes. Just relatively speaking, this gold lead is tremendous.
Absolutely. It's about 500 gold per minute played that Eager's been able to establish, even going higher than that with the Portal Demon being secured by Eager. Even tier 1 tower for Divios. The rotation here from SoaR. They're looking for somebody that's out of position. Anister getting off a little bit of poke on SoaR, but Roar, he's going to use that to his advantage.
And there's the taunt onto Anister. Follow-up Kraken is completely off the money. Best can't make that one count, but Andy, he gets controlled by DJ. Finds a dash right into Zapman. The double for the Hunter. Still continuing on. Venium's in trouble. The Best picks him up with the Whirlpool. That's going to be 3 down on the side of SoaR. Big enough window for Eager to attack the Fire Giant.
No possible way for SoaR to contest this one. Benji's ultimate is on cooldown. The boulder will not be coming today. Best utilizing that portal just to be able to help out the Fire Giant a little further. Very quick Fire Giant from Team Eager after that 3 for nothing.
SoaR is a much better team than they seem right now, and they're not even making these egregious mistakes. I think you can really dissect these team fights and find a misplay here or there, but for me, it's just control from Eager.
Eager have just been on point, playing as a team in a cohesive unit every single time. They're getting the better end of SoaR, capitalizing on an objective here, capitalizing on an objective there, and this is why they have themselves about a 13,000 goal lead, and they're not done yet. They're going straight for this tier 1 and probably 2 off the back of their Fire Giant on the left-hand side.
I think this SoaR roster is going to noticeably turn up in the middle of the split. Right, like after week number 2, after week number 3, I think they're just going to suddenly get it. Because that's the thing, you're basically combining 2.5 different teams here. Venium and Benji are a team on themselves, right? You've got Andy and Jigs, which is a team of themselves, and then Homie FA, come join us. This is almost 3 separate teams. It's a lot different than when you look at what Enemy did, they just added a solo laner. You look at what other teams did, they just added 1 or 2 players. SoaR combining 3 separate teams, it's gonna take a while, because that's what I think the issue is, Totally. I wanna hear your thoughts on this. I think the team fights just look disjointed for SoaR.
It's not necessarily the team fights could be improved upon for sure by SoaR, but more importantly than the team fights, I think it's the draft coming out of SoaR. They need to figure out ways to not only necessarily play around their own strengths, but play around the strengths of the enemy. They banned away Zeus and the Sylvanas in game number 2 right off the bat, but look, Eager is just not going to be deterred by those options at all. They're still going to be playing these Guardians in the solo lane, and because of Eager catering towards Divios by constantly invading the speed and the blue,
right.
This is why we see him in such a good position now, able to out-control team fights compared to Benji.
Ooh, Homie FA makes the wrong loop around. You need to take it down to about half HP. DJ Pernicus not going to chase it for now, because Divio's going to take care of the mid lane. DJ does chase Homie, but he's able to blink away. Either way, Tier 2 tower goes down, 1,500 in the pocket for Team Eager, leading this one by well over 10,000 gold. Divio's looking for the back line, half HP on the Phoenix. That one's gonna go down quick and clean. Best gets holded by Medusa, but no follow-up. Benji from the backside, not enough damage.
It didn't really balance at all. Jigs having to retreat under the fountain, finding the middle. Phoenix is Eager with their Fire Giant, and now they're gonna be looking towards that Tier 2 on the left-hand side. It's not even the 20-minute mark, Tom, and they're over 16,000 gold in the lead.
Worth noting, the quickest game of SPL history does belong to Team Eager. They found a victory in about 14 minutes and change, so this is not quite a 14-minute win, but this is certainly a very quick game here in the opening day for our North Americans here in Season 4.
Still putting pressure onto this left-hand side. They have a lot of gold in hand after these towers and the Phoenix. I'm sure they can go ahead and spend it. As we look on the left-hand side, over 1,500 is 4 members from Eager.
DJ Pernicus playing Lurker, waiting on the backside. Nice knock-up coming out from Aurora, really just to open up space onto the Phoenix. DJ gonna show up as well, just in case SoaR get a little excited. Right side tower still exists, and we'll see Team Eager go backwards to clean it.
Still putting pressure on every single side of the map. Going from left, not even continuing the pressure onto the Titan room. With their about 6,000 to 7,000 gold that they had collectively in hand, they want to make sure that they spend it now. DJ Pernick is trying to find a pick onto Benji, gonna knock him up, but it's gonna be countered by the ultimate. Not gonna get knocked up, but Sadman's waiting to land down. He's waiting for the driving strike before he comes down.
And Benji here just wasting time, which is kind of like, I mean,
That's just silly.
That's Benji.
I mean, that Kraken was just
Kraken?
silly. That was a little unnecessary. I'm pretty sure that nobody from SoaR was going to help out Benji. A little overkill from Best.
That's unnecessary. Well, Best finds a kill. It's his first kill of the game.
I guess he didn't want to go negative.
That's the thing. Best wanted a kill, man.
He didn't want to go negative.
You got to help out your mid laner.
I agree.
Best picks up the kill right there. He's going to help out and clean up this tower as well. Blackjack on the clock, 17 on the Eager, and 3 on the SoaR.
And with this kind of a lead coming out of Eager, Best is feeling very comfortable to not only make the play, but into his build as well. Going for the Gem of Isolation into the Fatalis. Normally you don't see this kind of build in professional play.
You say that, but Shadow Nightmare built it yesterday. I mean, this is the Fatalis has turned around. It's gone from one of those casual have fun items into a professional item just with 10 pen.
It's a build that can work if you're on the offensive and the enemy team can't really stop you. You just want to continue pressing your W key without stopping, and that's exactly what the Best is going to do with that build.
I think that you're underselling the Fatalis for the mid-mage Poseidon, especially combined with the passive that he has, the Trident ability, upgrading his basic attacks, and the fact that it has 10 penetration. That 10 penetration is taking it from I don't want to say troll, a casual item into a nice acceptable item.
It's a fun item.
Now put it this way, it's gone to an effective item on the mid lane. How do I feel about it on the Hercules? That's a different conversation.
Yeah, Benji, I guess he wants to match the speed of Best. That's what it is.
Benji, I mean, frankly, he's throwing in the towel. He's like, I mean, clearly we've lost this one, which, I mean, I'm not going to rash him for. They're down 22,000 gold, literally. That sounds like a number I pulled out to be exaggeratory.
Well, it's 21,725.
All right, Toli. Can I get aggro back, please? Can I get aggro back?
I think he's too busy boiling some fat eggs right now.
Well, here's the fight of the right-hand side.
Vedium, Zapman taking a lot of damage. Boulder coming out, doing a whip. Not fortunately, not connecting to Zap.
Zapman in trouble on the back end. Gonna get help from the Best. Fatalis came in play right there for the Poseidon. 1 kill for Zap, 1 kill for DJ. 2 dead on the side of SoaR. Looks like Andy's not gonna make it to the fountain. Divios gets the kill on Benji. Trouble for the other 2 as the Titan quickly becomes the target. DJ Pernick is playing Shepherd, forcing players into the fountain. A lot of damage coming out, but not enough on the Titan here, Anatoly.
Phoenix are being respawned, so it's having to be taken by Eager before they really close out the game. They found the mid and the right, exposing the Titan to its weakest form, and the rest of Eager are going to collapse here. We see Aurora wanting some more kills, but not going to find it. 20-3 for Team Eager. Very well performed. 23.5.